permission.
Okay.
So today we have a meeting, a webinar, a company introduction and let me know if I'm mispronouncing the name. Rosso Ferro, did I get that right? Or
Rosso
no?
Fine Food.
Rosso Fine Food, okay, very good. Yeah. And so this is the company that participates, one of the companies that participates the first time in X-Culture. And so other than the brief, I also have very limited information about the company and am very curious to learn more. So perhaps let's start with a quick introduction of the company, the product, just a little bit of an overview. We do have quite a few questions from the students who could not attend live because they have classes. My own students have a lecture at this time with a different professor, so they sent some questions. So, but let's start with the introduction and then move on into the questions. And so the students also who are watching live, if you have any questions, you can always put them in Q&A and in the chat window. I'll try to monitor those and ask them. But Virginia, Francesco, let's maybe do a quick introduction of the company first.
Yeah, so Virginia, I start or?
You can go, Francesco, the stage is yours.
Okay, perfect. So I can share my, it's possible to share?
Just a second, let me make sure, yes, it should work now, yes.
Okay.
All right. Yep, we can see the screen. Very good.
Okay, perfect. So, hi there, my name is Francesco Tamburrino, and I am the General Manager of Rosso Fine Food. In this short speech, I want to tell you about our experience on Alibaba.com. So, but let's start from the beginning. RossoFineFood.com was born at first as a proprietary e-commerce that did not foresee the use of Alibaba.com in this business idea. In fact, our site in the beginning, born in 2018, is a graphical palletizing simulator that allows the B2B operators, restaurateurs, any person who has to do with the food and beverage in the B2B world to create their own online shopping of our 40,000 selected Italian products. But while these represent an hybrid between B2C and B2B, in January 2021, we approached the world of Alibaba.com. How did we do it? The first phase is with the phase on onboarding. That is the creation of the mini site within Alibaba.com and the choice of categories and the products to be included. So this is where your first question arises. Out of 40,000 products, how did you choose some yes and some no? Are you familiar, I know, with digital marketing? Within our structure, I wanted to create from the beginning a team with transversal skills, in which of my guys has unique skills to bring into the company. At this stage, I want to create with my colleague of digital marketing, used Google tools for example, other tools of social listening platform, which products to insert and how to do it. For example, with the study of the keywords, and we started with the inserting of first 400 products. The rest was a succession of knowledge on how use the platform, which runs on indicators that are fundamental for the good management of the marketplace. First of all, I think that is the services, because the response to inquiries must be dictated by timing and professionalism. Today, we have a store response rates less than 1 hour. What does it mean? It means that by averaging the requests that arrive from buyers at night, we respond within an hour, and this is a very important goal because that we have achieved with the help of Alibaba's mobile application. So I want to speak to you about our organization. There is a general direction, the customer services offices, the graphic offices, a digital marketing office, an Alibaba.com office, and a scouting office. So I say that the general management is an old type of organize an office, because I think that the general manager is an organizer, not a manager. So I supervise the work, but I think that all of my guys have transversal skills, and it's important to have a good teams to have a good works. So my first, the first office that I want to explain is the customer service departments, who manage the assistance of live chat, for example, not only on Alibaba.com, but also with the chat of Messenger that we use for the for our these assistants, and the manage of post-sellings with customer. Giovanni speaks in English, German, and in Italian, and responds to all the requests for assistance, also via WhatsApp business or WeChat in the Asian markets. So I want to tell you about our graphic office. Graphic office managed from Tommaso that generate custom graphics for the web platform and Alibaba.com. It's very important to have a graphic office into the structure, because you have the possibilities to branding your products on Alibaba, and also in the search engine, all in the ADV that you promote on Alibaba.com, your logo is on all the products, and you are most effective, recognizable from the buyers. So the digital marketing. Digital marketing is a very great investment for us, because with the digital marketing office, I plan the communication and the social media feed. So I perform, for example, the analytics studies. Analytics studies is one of the better indicators that we have on Alibaba.com that represent the conversation from the visits and the inquiries, the famous GTR index. And so also for the managing of the KWA campaign for the keyword advertising, I think that is now for an e-commerce agency a fundamental office to have. So the scouting office, because we want to find buyers, but it's important to have an office that identify, together with the digital marketing departments, the products to be included in the platform, and has relations with suppliers for monitoring the updating of price lists, for example. So this is another message that I want to tell you. We organize an Alibaba.com office, because the most important thing for manage Alibaba, I think, is to have a support, a constant support to use the platform. So for me and with my colleague Basilio, we manage the response to the inquiries, and also with the app, we have the monitoring to the all the day. Only in the night, because you know that the inquiries, for example, become from other parts of the world, and with the difference of the hour from Italy to, for example, Asia market, we for being performing, we have to respond in the night. So also for monitors, the star rating that in Alibaba is a very important indicator, and with the weekly reports to provide the general management, we have to monitoring all the day this performance. So I want to speak you about a few numbers. we onboarding on Alibaba.com on Rosso Fine Food is very impacted from Alibaba. Over 50% of the invoice is combined by leads generated on Alibaba.com. So now we have an office dedicated to Alibaba, and the 2022 is a very important years for us, because we have to improve a lot of contact that we took on 2021. So I want to speak to you about the markets that we have to open on Alibaba. We have a great work on the north of Africa, and this is a very strange thing to in this moment, because, for example, in Libya or in Lebanon, there are a very hardest bureaucratic thing to have to do. So, for example, we have a partner of the Chamber of Commerce from Libya and Italian market, and now we have a very long time partnership with the buyers that we contacted on Alibaba from the north of Africa. Also in the South Korea and the island like Maldives or like Philippines or like Bermuda, where we approach and talk every day with a lot of buyers that have a work in holidays in or so.
So all of these buyers were obtained through Alibaba's website, I understand.
Yeah, only on Alibaba, because our e-commerce is more aimed to the B2B market, but into European market, because we develop instruments that was called the Smart Pallet, that is a mixed palletization box that with an helping of graphic simulator, you can fill the box in the percentage in your shop experience. So, for example, restaurators in Germany or in Slovakia or in Lithuania, in Latvia, then can do is shopping by rossofinefood.com, but this is not aimed to the poor B2B market. We have the real B2B works only on Alibaba.com, and I think that is only instruments now that permit this real showcase all over the world for the B2B market. You know that we started in January 2021. We opened 20.
So it's just a little bit more than a year at this time, right?
Yeah.
Can I ask you still, this is very, very interesting. So the other companies that do sell through Alibaba, they didn't get into the specifics. So how does it work? You list your page on Alibaba.com, and then you specify the regions that you are ready to ship your product, and then those suppliers, they just contact you, or what's the sort of the actual interaction?
Yeah. The buyers contact us from inquiry. Inquiry is like a chatting on WhatsApp or another type of social messages. So, but we have to speak with these buyers at the beginning from the instruments of Alibaba that permit to have the first contact. And after you can do this, you finalizing your selling on your mails or your social platforms. But this is the very link from buyers and from your showcase. And the method is very easier, because the buyer saw your products on the platform, and with a click on a button, so can talk with you. And so I say you that is very important to have a quickly response, because if you stay in for example, so in shoes markets. So if you have to attend, to wait the response of the employees that need, you have to do fastest that than another seller.
Yeah, interesting. We have a few more questions about Alibaba, but we'll ask them after your presentation. This is very interesting.
So after the tip and tricks, I think that is very specific. So I want to explain you because why do I recommend Alibaba? So first of all, the window on the world, because so I write without the needs for staff dedicated to export, we are able to establish contact with the whole world in a short time. So there are a cost-effective and high performance because the cost of Alibaba, for example, for the first year is very less, and sartorial quality because draws and Alibaba.com draw itself around the company that uses it. Each company has the opportunity to customize its experience. The assistance, because the support of Alibaba and partners is very important, and the safe, because there are very high focus on cybersecurity. I know that in this time, Alibaba is very focused to perform this the cybersecurity, like a continuous service, like a continuous monitoring on the so also on the inquiries. And I think that is very important because a lot of B2B marketplace has a great percentage of spammers, but with Alibaba I know that is very solved problems in these last years. So after the tip and tricks, but I want to check a little speech about our history, because Rosso Fine Food is a spin-off of a great winery in Italy that was called Azienda Agricola Ciccio Zaccagnini, and we produce, for example, over 6 million of bottles every day, and we are a Italian red wine more selling in USA. So the idea of Rosso Fine Food started from our CEO Marcello Zaccagnini. Then with his several continental and extra-continental journeys, found that the caterers and the B2B and the food market, B2B operators of food and beverage felt the need to source Italian food in a simple way. And in this way started the Rosso Fine Food history. Now, Alibaba for us is fundamental, not important. And I participate at the e-commerce master competition in 2021. We have the winning of these awards, and I am a lecturer on Alibaba.com and support our Italian staff, like Virginia, for example, to train the new GGS Global Gold suppliers on Alibaba.com in Italy. And I'm very proud to stay here and also to speak with you, Vasil, and with all the students that follow us, because I think that Alibaba is a unique way to do this type of B2B approach all over the world.
Yes, very interesting. Yeah. So can I ask you a few questions then?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, well, again, thank you so much for focusing on the Alibaba component. We do have 4 companies this semester that all are sort of Alibaba track, but pretty much all of the other companies, they also ask about Alibaba as a potential vehicle for distribution. And so students would be, and I would be very interested to learn how it works. Are you at liberty to share the conditions at which the site operates? Like, do they take some sort of commission, or is it some sort of a subscription fee? Or
maybe I can reply to this, and then maybe Francesco can also give your your suggestion working directly on Alibaba.com. So actually the platform is exactly working as a physical trade show, but it is online. So we do not have commission fee when the supplier and buyers are doing the transaction, but yearly fixed fee. So they pay a membership for 1 year to stay on the platform and to have their own space inside the platform. Inside this space, all the companies can create their own website. And it is a real website, actually. They can change every part of it without coding, of course, just drag and drop images and text or video. And in this page, they can put all the information they want, not only about the product, but also about the companies. So they can explain who they are, their history, their values, how they work, how their production is working, and which are their production capabilities, and also in which market they are already present, and maybe which are the others they are interested in. Inside the mini site, they have the possibility, sellers have the possibilities to upload an unlimited number of products. The more product you post, the better it is, because you gain more visibility inside the platform. We have all the categories of product that you can think about. We have both, of course, some categories that are also suitable for B2C market, like food and beverage product, but we have also all that is just B2B related, like machinery, industrial parts, or material, raw materials. There are two ways to start a business inside Alibaba.com. The first one is the one that Francesco was explaining you some minutes ago. So a buyer goes inside Alibaba.com, search for a keyword, find a list of product. Of course, again, sellers can advertise their product to appear in the first page or upper compared to other sellers. Then the buyers can click on the product he's interested. Of course, the buyer can filter for buyer's country or a minimum order quantity, pricing, or whatever. Once he's went to the product pages, there you can see all the details of the product, and it is B2B product pages. So we do not find a single price as we do on a B2C marketplace, but we usually see a range of price, because the price will change based on the quantity that the buyers will buy. We usually have a minimum order quantity, because sellers maybe doesn't want to start a negotiation if the buyers is interested in a low number of product, but maybe at least one pallet, at least X units of the product. And of course, there is the possibility that is loved actually in the B2B market of doing also private label and customization services for products that are suitable for this. If the buyer is interested in that product, he can click the button, contact supplier, and start a conversation with the supplier. So this is the first way they start a conversation.
Can I ask about that? So conversation, is it on Alibaba's own sort of platform, or you're allowed to share it, like telephone number or email?
Yeah, correct. Correct. It starts on Alibaba.com. Usually is the first phase where they exchange some basic information about pricing, or about suitable, if the product is suitable to be shipped in the buyer's country. And then they can move outside the platform. So they can move to more traditional way of doing business in the B2B. So it could be meeting each other in person, or doing a Skype call, listening by email, phone call, whatever, outside the platform, and the transaction is outside the platform. So they will.
And because it's an annual fee, Alibaba doesn't care how you talk. They're not trying to confine you to their channel only, so you pay the commission, right?
Yeah, correct. Correct.
There
are no commission fee. And then there is a second way to start a conversation between sellers and buyers. And this way, in the second way, we talk about RFQ markets, so request for quotation market, where buyers, instead of searching for keywords and for product inside the platform, they can create a request inside this market explaining what they are looking for. And in this case, is the seller that is going inside this market and looking for a request about their products that they can sold to buyers. So for example, if I'm a buyer and I'm interested in coffee, I can just write, hello market, hello world, I'm interested in coffee for this at this price, coming from Italy mainly. And then Francesco, that is selling coffee, can go inside, just write coffee, find my request and propose itself as a supplier, sending his quotation. So this is the second way. Of course, it will go at the end, it will be the same because they will start a conversation. And again, then they will finalize the transaction outside the platform. Being an e-commerce.
Can you also explain on this RFQ? So when you post an RFQ, or rather for your company, if somebody puts an RFQ for a product that you make, does it somehow come to you as a message saying that somebody is looking for a product like that, or you have to go to the website every morning and see what RFQs are available? Like, what's the logistics of the communication here?
Yeah, you can do both. So you can go every day and look for something new, especially if you have many products as Francesco did. But you can also do subscription. So you search for keywords and maybe you already put some filter in terms of category, in terms of buyers, country, in terms of minimum order quantity, and you will receive automatically a notification every time a new request for quotation for a specific product is posted inside this market.
And Francesco also sort of alluded to the speed. So is it correct that the faster you reply, the better? How big is it? I mean, how important it is to be first? Is it something like, 1 million people sign up right away, and if you're not the first, nobody's going to scroll down the list? Or is it still manageable?
I think that it depends a lot heavily on the category you are in. So there are some categories that are where there is a lot of competition. So you really need to be quick and try to reply in 2 or 3 hours once you receive a message. But the platform also supports sellers, giving smart response support, for example, for night moment, because we are a global platform, so you should be always available 24 hours a day, because in some other places it's not night, it's morning. But you have the possibility to set some smart responses that keep alive the conversation also while you are sleeping or you are not at work.
So you're talking about some sort of like an automated bot chat, chat bot,
like a bot
right?
chat.
Yeah, correct.
Does it require much coding skills? I mean, is it easy to set up?
No.
Like it's like point and drag and click, or is it like a real code that you need to write?
No coding is needed anywhere. You just have this smart response place where you choose to which response or to which request, to which question from the client you want to answer and what you want to answer. You can also create questions, so you can create automatic question to buyers in order to keep alive the conversation. In terms of response time, we suggest to have a response time that is lower than 24 hours. So less than 24 hours. The ideal one is less than 12 hours, to be clear. Because a lot of buyers are doing price comparison or are just looking for information. So as Francesco was saying, maybe they are looking for a product, they find 1,000 product, they will not ask to all the sellers, but maybe the first 10. And of course, the first one that are replying are the one that getting them more involved.
Yeah. Very interesting. So a few more questions. So Alibaba, that's only for B2B, and then AliExpress, that's for B2C version. Is that how it works?
Yeah, well, Alibaba.com, it's just for B2B purpose, and it is easy to see it because you have a range of price and the minimum order quantity that usually doesn't allow a single customer to buy it. To buy it. While AliExpress, yes, it is a B2C. It is similar to Amazon, but it has some heavy differences because it's also social media. So it's important also to have followers. So we can say that it is an hybrid between Amazon and Instagram. So it's a word aside of the B2C that we are used to use in the West world.
And also, so Alibaba, is it only for physical products, or can you also list services on that website?
Well, actually, there are also the possibility to put services, but it's more difficult as market, in particular in this period, because in this period that you're not allowed to travel, it can be very difficult to give services, physical services that then has a physical support. Being abroad, not being able to travel. So it is also possible to sell services, but it's mainly for product.
What are the minimum requirements? So you said you cannot buy a single product. Yeah. How about like 10 units? Would that be already enough, or does it have to be more? Or is it like amount of money, or how do they determine?
This is a decision of the sellers. So if Francesco, it's okay to sell also just one bottle of wine, he can do it.
So there is no rule.
No.
But in terms of the annual fee, so is it a fixed fee? Does it depend on the company size? If I may ask, how much is it? I mean, is it something anyone can afford, or is it like $1 million or something?
It's a fixed one. It changes from country to country. So if you are an Italian seller, you have a cost. If you are a Chinese one, you have another one, also because you have, for example, in China, more services, also payment support, logistic support. So of course, it's a little bit higher. In Italy, at the moment, is around $2,500, $3,000 a year.
That's not bad at all. So that's like a few $100s a month. Actually,
yeah,
for some reason, I thought it would be much, much more. And so it doesn't depend on your size. Like even if you're a large company, it's still a few $100s.
No, it's your decision. There are different kind of membership that are based on different features that you can have inside your account. Of course, to this price that is just the membership price, usually the companies can add the advertising budget.
And that's what I wanted to ask. So how important is that? Because we've had a few companies in X-Culture who tried to sell on Amazon, and they say the problem is that there are so many products that if you're not on the first page, you might as well not be there at all. But to be on the first page, you have to sort of game the system, you pay for advertisement, you try to get good reviews, and they say it's extremely difficult for a company without proper sort of support and big budget. So is that the same with Alibaba? Or like, do you have to spend much more to be seen, or you just pay the basic membership and it's enough?
Well, it is strongly suggested to have also an advertising companies. Again, how much do you have to spend? It depends on the category and how much competitors there are in that specific category of product. But we can say that it's a little bit different from Amazon, because on Alibaba you have also other ways to be listed in the first pages. Sure. For example, one is the star system. So we have a ranking system for sellers that is giving them from 0 to 5 stars based on how they are performing on the platform. So, for example, Francesco is and Rosso Fine Food is the first Italian company that has reached 5-star, and it is based on the number of product, the quality of product, how fast you are to reply, how many visitors do you have inside your product. So it has different level, of course, for different indicators, but the better you are as a seller working on the platform, the better, the highest commitment you have, the easiest way is easier to have a higher star rating. And the highest is the star rating, the higher is your visibility, also the organic one. And then you have trade shows. So you have some moments during the year inside the platform that are specific for category, or that are event like Black Friday and Prime Day of Amazon, where they can participate for free. And that's a good way also doing live streaming. So put their face, explaining their product and their company.
Like a real trade show, essentially.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Correct.
And it's live, right? It's like people
live.
can...
Correct.
Is it something they rolled out only during COVID, or they've had it for a while?
No, we have it also as Alibaba.com also before COVID. Of course, with COVID, we have a boost in it. I remember before COVID talking about it to Italian companies that were like, what is it? Now it's a Chinese trend. They don't like it. Now everyone knows how to do a live streaming and are interested in doing it. So, so that's why advertising, it's important, but more important to targeting a specific market or a specific kind of buyer, because with advertising you can decide to put your investment so to be on the first search pages, specifically in some countries you are interested in. So if you are interested in working and sell your products in India, you can put India as destination country, targeting country for your campaign, and then you will pay just for click coming from there, mainly coming from there. So it will help you to targeting a specific place, a specific country, because being a platform that it opens to 196 countries, sometimes it's too much. Not everyone are interested in selling all over the world, like for example, Rosso Fine Food is doing, but maybe they prefer, or they have some legislation or low regulation problem, and they cannot send maybe outside Europe. So it's useful having advertising that is targeting specific country.
So Virginia, go ahead, Francesco.
No, Basil, for example, we in 13 months spent $1,000. So is
on additional services and subscriptions and
yeah, sure.
It's not too bad. Just to again understand, because I still have many questions, and I'm sorry we're talking more about Alibaba than about Rosso, but this is such an important question, and I wish I asked those questions in the previous webinars. But just to be sure, so Virginia, you are the marketer, right? So you are the person who is responsible for promotion on Alibaba, or are you also with Rosso? Like
no, I am customer success manager of Alibaba.com. That's why I was
so that's what
Alibaba.com.
That's what just to be sure. So again, a few more questions, if I may. Transportation and shipping. So do you, like Francesco, for example, so do you specify how much will it cost, or you say this is the price plus whatever the transportation will be? Or how does it work?
The logistic and transport is very important way to have a contact with a buyers and to perform a contact with the buyers. I do a deal with a shipper for a previous table and for a table that I share with my buyers, and it's very important to send this information at the buyer in the moment that we have to finalize the selling. Yes, I share the transport cost, and I share also the method of our logistic departments work for the palletization and for the working with the customs and with the excise. It's very important to know that in every country there are different type of relationship with the customs. For example, we sell a lot of Italian products in Rwanda, in the center of Africa, and I don't know what are the law of Rwanda. So I have to study with the Italian customs the approach for the Rwanda customs, and I share for my buyers this type of information. Is a services that Rosso Fine Food have to do for his buyers.
Very, makes sense. A few more questions about Alibaba, and then we do have a few questions for the company specifically. So in terms of RFQs, if I want to put my RFQ, is there normally a minimum? Like, for example, let's say I'm organizing a conference and I need 250 t-shirts. Would that be a large enough order to put an RFQ, or that's too small?
It's okay. You can put whatever you want. It's up to the buyer, and then it will be up to sellers if they are okay in replying and send a quotation for the quantity that the buyer asked.
And the sellers can be anywhere in the world. Like most people think that it would be a Chinese manufacturer, but it sounds like it can be any.
this is the contrary, and Francesco can confirm it.
Yeah.
Actually, the platform as was born 20 years ago to help Chinese sellers to sell abroad.
Right,
so
right, and that's what many people still think it is.
Yeah, I know. We have a lot of Chinese sellers, but buyers are not from China, are from US and from all over the world. Francesco has shown where he has sold with Alibaba, and China is not in the list.
And then also we have 4 companies that sell through Alibaba this semester only. So I imagine that there are many, many more from all kinds of countries.
Yeah.
One more question, and this one is sort of much interest to me personally, but I think students may have gotten the same sort of experience. So some years ago, 2 years maybe ago, I started getting emails from, or related rather to Amazon, where the seller says, we can give you for free, like, for example, headphones or something, and you post, you look at it and you use it. And as long as you put a positive review, you can keep them for free. And like a year and a half ago, I even thought that must be a scam, but I thought, okay, let me try just to see if it works. And sure it did. So they just gave me that thing for free. It actually was a good pair. I never tried it again, but I get probably like twice a week, somebody emails me and says, like helicopter or, like this toy or headphone or, whatever, sometimes like, power bank. So are those legit? Are they legal? Do you have the same thing on Alibaba? Is it like, why do they even do it? Just to get those good ratings, or like, what's the point? How does
this is, I was working on Amazon, so I know well so this problem actually. Actually, it shouldn't be legal, but it's difficult to track. And it was important for seller because on Amazon the ranking is based on the reviews on the customer and also on pricing and on logistics. So as we talk about buy boxes, so the seller that is featured in the product page as first sellers, and to be in that position you need to have a good price, good reviews, and good and a good logistic system. So usually having a good price is in their hands, so they need just to work with the suppliers. The logistics, they usually just need to use Amazon logistic and it's okay. So the problem is just the reviews. So if you are posting a new product and you have 0 review, it's very difficult that people will start buying it. So that's why they were buying actually reviews in this way, giving samples for free.
Interesting. Francesco, a question for you. So your company is an old, you've operated for a while, but you have been using Alibaba for a little over a year. So how did it compare to your sort of non-Alibaba business? You were selling X number of units. So did it make a big difference? Did it increase your...
Yeah, because I don't... in 13 months, I have the chance to open a lot of few markets, but with the standards approach. For example, how can I do this from mail marketing, or for example, a lot of Google AdWords, but I'm sure that I don't have the same results that I am on Alibaba. For the B2B operators, I think that Alibaba is the unique way to have this performing and these results. But it's important to have an organization for the manage of Alibaba, because the platform, the marketplace is for the seller that has a lot of utilization, a lot of manage on the platform. I think it's a different way to have a success or not on Alibaba.com. So with Rosso Fine Food, I can think now at my business management, my business models without Alibaba.
Interesting. There are a few questions for you here from students. So one anonymous, I think he didn't put the name, says, is there a particular region or market in which Rosso Fine Foods wants to enter or to strengthen its presence in? So are you interested in a particular country?
So no, in particular country, no, but because we So our claim is we bring Italian food all over the world. It's important for us to stay all over the world, but I think that in the European market, I can do this work with Alibaba, but also with other types of instruments. But on extra EU, I think that Alibaba is now a unique and the fastest way and an economics way to have this type of success. So no, not a particular country.
Yeah. Another question, is Rosso using smart palette also for customers outside Europe? Is it possible to compose a smart palette on Alibaba too, or just on Rosso website?
No, smart palette only on the our e-commerce. But when I took a contact on a buyer, so if the buyer is oriented to do a mixed palletization, I do these services for the buyers. The Alibaba is the link, no? Is the first link with the buyers. After my services are total. So the smart palace born on rossofinefood.com, but now also with the buyers that I have a link on Alibaba, I do smart palette.
Very good. A question from Giuseppe Carabino. So regarding Rosso Fine Food, is the inventory managed by the company? Is there a central warehouse with all different SKUs? How does Rosso Fine Food manage the replenishment phase of the warehouse? Is the logistics distribution outsourced both upstream and downstream? Thanks in advance. So it's a lot of questions, but basically, how do you manage your logistics?
So for the logistic, for us, is very important. We organize our logistic with the most required items selling. So it's not possible to have 14,000 items available in our warehouse, but I use the instruments for our warehouse to have products that have a lot of rotation, and so also in this period, for example, the raw material like oils or like the cans for the tomatoes, there are a lot of problems to have a good in our warehouse. But I work with the rotation of the warehouse.
Mm-hmm. Another question also from Giuseppe Carabino. Do we have to think to enter countries different from those that you have previously said? So basically, when you ask students for help, should they try to think for a strategy for countries that you are not currently working in, or it doesn't matter as long as you're growing your market share?
So can you repeat, or Virginia can help me?
He's asking if you are interested in if the students should work in country different from the one that you have shown, or maybe it could be also that countries, but
I'm guessing if there is a student, let's say from Australia or New Zealand, or maybe Guatemala that you didn't mention, and they think it's a good market, you'd be equally interested, right?
Like our claim, all over the world.
All over the world, yes, makes sense. Another question that was asked before and I didn't ask, competition. So for Rosso Fine Foods, who are your biggest competitors, and then how do you differentiate yourself from the competition?
Yeah, I think that is one of our force, because I don't have a real competitor that now have our same services, because we have to a structure of warehouse of our teams that permit us to have to do this type of works in these ways. Now I think that there isn't another companies that do a same work of Rosso Fine Food, like for example the Smart Pallet, or like for example the this type of attention on food and beverage sector on Alibaba.com. So Virginia said that we are a first 5-star suppliers on the platform, but after this there are a lot of works, a lot of organization, and so now I think that I don't have a typical competitor. All food and beverage operators are my competitor, but I have a lot of deal with a lot of producers. And so I, for example, don't work with a private label, my private label, but for choice of the CEO. And so now I think we are unique in this sector.
So another question about Rosso's presence on Alibaba. So the way Virginia explained it, it's very easy. You just come and you are successful right away, but I'm sure there are some challenges. So for you, Francesco, for your company, what were the challenges that you faced as you've been trying to use Alibaba for your distribution?
What are the challenges?
The challenges, yes, for you. So when you started selling on Alibaba, was it all very, very easy? There were no problems, or there were some things that you had to deal with, like some challenges that you had to deal with?
No, the challenges are a lot. For example, if we think about with the customs or with the excise world, it's very difficult to us to have a single bureaucratic deal with the customs all over the world, because we are 6 people in office. So we have to organize a lot of automatization process to do and to have a better way to respond in a few time at our response. For example, now we have to sell in Malta. Okay, and in Malta, I know during the selling that are another type of excise to manage, and for us is a very difficult to brief and to brief at our customs like we and they have to prepare the documents. So it's a new way to do e-commerce, and it's a new way to do these types of deal. And in Italy, but I think all over the world, is also the employees of the customs are not prepared to this type of business that is more speed than the Lex.
Yeah, makes sense. We are almost out of time, but I still have a couple of questions for Virginia. So in pretty much every webinar we did with the companies, they said that they would like to explore Alibaba website. And so your company provides those services. Can we send them to you? I mean, like, do you work only with Rosso, or you're open for new clients?
Me? No, I'm open with more new clients, of course. If someone else wants to join, it's okay.
And if so, how would it work? Like, do you charge a fixed, or normally marketing companies that promote, or would you call it Alibaba success company, or
Alibaba.com? I mean, to have new companies enter
to hire a company like yours to help promote my product on Alibaba. Do you charge a commission? Do you charge a fixed fee, or how does it normally work?
Well, I work for Alibaba. So if a company wants to enter in Alibaba, I can explain Alibaba, and then they can pay and enter in Alibaba. But it's like a new company like Rosso Food that is entering the platform.
So you are with Alibaba. You are not a third company that is. So even easier that way. Okay, I see. Yeah. Okay, that's very interesting. Good to know. So because, as I said, many companies that work with Xculture are interested in Alibaba and they don't know how. So maybe we should send them to you.
We can set a call also for this if you want.
Maybe we should do that. Yes.
If you have many companies also coming from US, I can put you in contact with the US team.
So there is a US representative too. Okay, very good to know. Yeah, it's interesting that we've been working with many companies for many years. Alibaba comes up all the time, and we never did proper research. So good to know now. Right. All right, well, I think we're out of time. Very informative, extremely informative. So I'm sure many people, not only students working on Rosso Fine Foods, will be interested in this webinar, but also students working for other companies. So very nice. Thank you so much. And
sorry, I have a question for Francesco that I have received from Polytechnico that is working already on his company. They know that they have seen that you have also not only Rosso Fine Food, but there is also the Azienda Zaccagnini, so another companies that you are the owner that is working. So some of them were asking if there was a specific line of product, first of all, that you were interested in pushing and make them analyzed to sell, to identify the market, to where to sell and the strategy, and also if Zaccagnini was, and this product, it's something that could be okay for you if they analyze it and make a report also on it. So not only Rosso.
No, also in is a different way to have an Alibaba approach, because with Rosso Fine Food we are a pure commercial, and we use Alibaba a lot for sell, but with Zaccagnini is very important for us also like a showcase, because on Alibaba we in Zaccagnini we sell in 15 countries all over the world, and with the same products. So the same products that are on our price list are also on Alibaba, and is very important to have and to download the analytics of Alibaba traffic index for have also a response in countries or in other countries that we have just selling in our normal market, but also for other types of market that we want to open also with Zaccagnini. So, but the products are the same.
Okay. Okay, clear.
Yeah, thank you. And there is also a question from Constanza. She's asking if it's possible to share your slides. I'm not sure if you would be willing to send me the slides so I can share them with the students. That's for Francesco.
So, excuse me, can you repeat, because I don't understand very well.
Yeah, so the slides that you used for the presentation, would you be willing to share those with the students?
Sure.
Maybe if you email them to me, I can then post them for the students.
Sure, also with my contacts.
Yes.
That's cool. I have also the slide from the previous companies that are willing to share.
That would be very nice. Very nice.
I will send it. Just one
and Francesco, one more, on the contacts. You're so brave. We have thousands of students in X-Culture, and so if you post your, you can be getting 10 calls a day.
Yeah,
so
because I want to support it. I want to explain with this project of Alibaba.com, because for my company, Alibaba.com is the real change of our business, and it's important to have this sharing with you. But you have Virginia, that is one of the best of our custom success manager on Alibaba in Italy, and you have all.
Thank you, very generous.
Just one very quick question. Which are your distribution channels? So do you sell through distributor, retail stores, online, or just online?
So I work just online. Okay. Yeah, because I'm tried, but the cost effective is not comparable.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It was one of the most informative webinars in this semester. So really, really interesting. So I appreciate your time, and thank you so much, Virginia, for also joining us. That was very informative too. So thank you, and yeah, I think good evening for those of you in Italy, and then good morning, good afternoon, wherever else you guys are. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Bye.